I'm Katie Stevens. I'm Chair for Northumbria Primary Care, NPC, and I work mostly in Coalport and Seaton Delavan. So grew up in the Midlands. I was born in the centre of Birmingham, and it was a hard-working, happy family where most of them were either making chocolate or making cars in the motor industry in the Midlands. We moved to Hereford around Hereford when I was 12, 13 in a really rural location, and it's when I fell in love with the countryside. Mum was then a secretary for a GP practice and Dad was in sales, so travelled an awful lot. I went to a very basic state school which had limited number of teachers there, so the curriculum was maths and English and that was about it on a good day. But I was very swotty and I used to read so much, so luckily got through my GCSEs, got through my A-levels and then got a scholarship to go to university. So I was the first one out of the family to go to university, which was quite a thing to achieve. Not really knowing what I wanted to do, I decided to train as a chartered accountant and again did that in the Midlands with a large accounting firm. And then started to move abroad, so worked in France for quite a bit, in Nigeria, China, Russia, Kazakhstan, across Europe with various public and private sector organisations and PLCs, and that was in such roles as finance director, head of audit, HR. And then life changed for the better in hindsight. I had epilepsy in my mid-20s. I lost my job in the company I was in at the time because it wasn't appropriate to have seizures in front of clients. And it just changed my whole approach to life and what it means to be well and happy. So it changed my perspective on things, and I handed my notice and I retired at a very early age so that I could focus on supporting those who are going through discrimination, those who have disabilities, who aren't able to fulfil their dreams at the moment. So work experience has really changed. I'm now director for 10 different trusts and charities, and that includes things like finance director at Northumberland Cricket Club, and then director for quite a few charities and multi-academy trusts that are focused on adults and children with disabilities or learning difficulties. So I was very lucky and became an associate non-exec director for Northumbria Healthcare about 16, 17 months ago now. Part of that role was to sit on the boards for the subsidiaries, so NHFM and MPC. So I've had over 12 months experience now to getting to know about MPC and what it's all about. So I was very lucky when the opportunity came up when there's going to be a change in chair to take on that role. And so of course I quickly grasped the opportunity when it came up. Yeah, luckily there isn't a typical day, which is great. I suppose my key responsibility as chair, or one of my primary responsibilities, is to make sure that the board's effective in deciding on and implementing the direction and strategy for MPC. So that's what a lot of my time is about, is making sure we're moving in the right directions at the right time. So that means a lot of engagement with staff, an awful lot of engagement with David, the managing director, which is daily catch-ups. So it's not just simply sitting in and leading the meetings, but it's making sure I'm out there talking to staff, talking to patients and making sure we're doing the right thing according to our values and our vision. I love everything about it. It's the opportunity to be part of a team that is making a real change. I've got to meet hundreds of people, I've got to meet a lot of staff, and I want to continue to meet as many staff as we can. And it's just to see that enthusiasm in MPC and wanting to make patients' experience the best it possibly can and wanting staff to enjoy their roles. It's fabulous, and just to be part of that with a really exciting strategy ahead for the next few years. Just love every bit about being part of that team. I've learnt obviously an awful lot about GP practices, how those work. I've learnt a lot about the issues which are often hidden, which you don't see, and just to see the volume of work that the staff are doing day in, day out, their commitment and their enthusiasm to be part of the NPC family. It's been wonderful. It's also been interesting just seeing just how many options and how innovative and exciting NPC is and what it really wants to achieve. That has been wonderful. And I think key as well is just talking to patients and understanding how, particularly in a community like in Northumbria, there's a lot of different demographics, and just starting to understand what patients need and expect has been really interesting. It's been a really busy last few months, so we've nearly doubled in size since the end of 2023, and we're only in March now. So I think we're going to see, or we should, I'd like to see, a period where we just relax a little bit. I think it's time just to let the acquisitions embed, understand NPC, and we're clear on that culture and give staff time just to sit and think and gather their thoughts again. Financially, for GP practices, it's a difficulty. So it's us focusing on our budgets as well and making sure we're financially sustainable going forward, and we can instill all those ideas that we've got. And also clinical strategy is going to be key, so it's embedding that clinical strategy and making sure we can deliver it and we have the investment and the time to make sure it's successful.